Welcome to Little English Studio. Today's episode is the extraordinary life story of a man whose invention changed the way humans communicate forever. This is the story of Alexander Graham Bell, teacher of the deaf, passionate scientist, and inventor of the telephone. His journey is one of curiosity, perseverance, and a relentless drive to improve the human condition. Alexander Graham Bell was born on March 3, 1847. In Edinburgh, Scotland. His family was already deeply involved in the study of speech and elocution. His grandfather, Alexander Bell, was a distinguished elocutionist, and his father, Alexander Melville Bell, developed visible speech, a written system of symbols to help deaf people learn to speak. From a young age, Alexander, known as Alec to his family, showed an intense curiosity about how things worked. He was fascinated by sound, speech, and the mechanics of the human voice, but he was equally intrigued by mechanical devices. At age 12, he built a simple machine to help a local flour mill remove husks from wheat, his first invention. Though he was a bright student, Bell was not particularly disciplined in traditional subjects. He preferred to explore ideas on his own terms, often dismantling and tinkering with objects to see how they functioned. His parents recognized his gift and encouraged his experiments, but they also instilled in him the importance of using knowledge to help others. The Bell family's work with speech would become the foundation for Alexander's life's mission. His father's visible speech system was revolutionary for its time, and young Bell often assisted in teaching it. When Bell was in his early teens, tragedy struck. Both of his brothers died from tuberculosis. His parents feared for his health and moved the family to a cleaner environment, first to London and eventually to Canada in 1870. In Canada, Bell continued working with the deaf. By 1871, he moved to Boston to teach at the Boston School for the Deaf. His dedication and innovative methods quickly gained him recognition. Bell's philosophy was that deaf students should be taught to speak and lip-read, rather than rely solely on sign language, a controversial view at the time, but one that deeply shaped his teaching career. Bell's work with sound and speech training naturally led him to experiment with ways to transmit sound mechanically. He began studying the telegraph, the dominant long-distance communication tool of the day, and wondered if it was possible to send multiple messages at once over a single wire. This idea evolved into an even greater ambition, transmitting the human voice itself. By 1874, Bell had the basic concept of a harmonic telegraph that could carry vocal sounds. He worked closely with Thomas Watson, a talented young electrician who became his assistant. The two spent countless hours experimenting with membranes, electrical currents, and vibration patterns. After years of trial and error, on March 10, 1876, history was made. In Bell's Boston laboratory, he spoke the famous words, "Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you." Watson, in another room, heard the words clearly through the device they had created. The telephone was born. Bell quickly secured a patent, filed just hours before a rival inventor, Elisha Gray, attempted to patent a similar idea. This led to legal disputes, but Bell ultimately prevailed. Bell demonstrated the telephone at the Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia in 1876, where it amazed audiences, including Emperor Dom Pedro II of Brazil and scientist Sir William Thomson. By the late 1870s, Bell and his partners founded the Bell Telephone Company, which rapidly expanded across the United States. But Bell was never content to simply profit from one invention. He left much of the business management to others and returned to teaching and scientific research. Bell's restless mind took him in many directions: education for the deaf. He continued to promote methods for teaching speech to the deaf, and personally taught several students, including Helen Keller. Aeronautics, Bell experimented with kites and early aircraft designs, even forming the Aero Experiment Association to advance aviation. Marine engineering, he developed the hydrofoil boat, setting world speed records on water. Medical research, Bell explored techniques for separating salt from seawater and worked on devices to help locate bullets inside the human body. In 1877, Bell married Mabel Gardiner Hubbard, one of his former students who had lost her hearing from scarlet fever as a child. Mabel was a strong partner and supporter of Bell's work. They had 4 children, though 2 died in infancy, a loss that deeply affected them. The Bells spent much of their later life in their home in Baddeck, Nova Scotia, where Bell continued his experiments and enjoyed the natural beauty of the area. Bell's contributions extended far beyond a single invention. He advocated for scientific collaboration, served as president of the National Geographic Society, and believed that science should serve humanity. On August 2, 1922, Alexander Graham Bell passed away at the age of 75. In his honor, every telephone in North America went silent for 1 minute during his funeral. Today, Bell is remembered not only as the inventor of the telephone, but as a visionary whose curiosity and compassion shaped modern communication, education, and technology. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Alexander Graham Bell, the man who helped connect the world. Subscribe to Little English Studio for more stories of extraordinary lives. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an inspiring tale. Who should we feature next? Tell us in the comments.